Julia, I got plan B too if you want to see my plan B.
You have a plan B? Why'd you do that with your leg?
If the chicken doesn't work.
That's pork.
They don't gots to know. And welcome back to another episode of Your Request, where we take our requests and search through the comments filter, type in giant chicken tender, and hope that it's also your request, which inevitably it is. Thanks to your request, which is make a giant chicken tender, but not any chicken tender, the greatest chicken tender of all time, Raising Cane's. Raising Cane's was founded in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 1996, famous for its chicken tenders and Cane's sauce. It's a simple but brilliant menu consisting of chicken tenders, crinkle cut fries, coleslaw, and Texas toast. The restaurant is actually named after a yellow Labrador named Raising Cane. That's the dog's name, not Cane, Raising Cane. So they could be Raising Cane. We're actually thinking of changing our dog's name to Rising Inflation due to the current economical crisis. So today, the P-Man is actually taking a back seat to this recipe because Julia is gonna get all scientific in the kitchen.
Yeah, I know.
Because the last time I checked, a chicken tender is not giant. Take it away, Julia.
These are just here for decoration. They look cute. So the first thing I wanted to do was figure out how to make a mold that looked like the shape of a tender. So I do what I always do. I use tinfoil. This looks like a baby. Oh, just put her in the river. Let her go down the Nile. Cry. Today on the Test Kitchen, we're testing meat glue. Glue that brings meats or combines proteins and sometimes also vegetables together. This one is vegan. Here we have Moo Glue RM transglutaminase formula. This one happens to be the most popular. Moo Glue, the purple package. Sprinkled on some of the Moo Glue and wrapped them up together in what they call a torchon. All of them did a pretty freaking great job. Anywho. Brings me back to when I used to do the Boy Scouts. We sliced the chicken in half long ways and layered all the chicken in with the Moo Glue on top, made sure it was all covered and coated, every little corner mattered, and then we used the tin foil to just close it all up. We're making this taste exactly like Raising Cane's, at least that's the goal. So we gotta make Raising Cane's sauce. Super easy to make. All it is mayonnaise, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, black powder, and lemon juice. Stir it all up, and then that sauce is ready. To prepare our batter, we need to have our chicken marinated. I combine buttermilk, eggs, and garlic powder into a huge pan, and then the little bird's going swimming. I guess she's lots of birds together. In another sheet pan, I combined flour, breadcrumbs, salt, and baking powder, the famous Cane, the Raising Cane. Cane would be the dog, but they don't sell dogs at Raising Cane's, they sell chicken tenders. So let's get back on topic. We're gonna batter it. It's been marinating, and because it's so big, we're going for a double batter. This big tender is being moved right into the marinade again and back into the flour coating. Now we just have to wait for the oil to preheat, and she's going under. She goes down under. We've had a huge deep fryer set up, and we're going down for the first fry. We dropped it in. We're like, it has to get cooked all the way. It should be fine, right? We pulled it out, and it was looking kind of dark on top. We took the temperature, and we found out that it was definitely raw in the center still. We did what Gordon Ramsay would do. Stick it in the oven, let it cook all the way through. So about an hour and a half later, it comes to 165 degrees Fahrenheit in the inside. So I took it out, let it cool. The breading looks bad though. It doesn't feel like a win. Is this thing gonna look good? Is this thing too massive? Is too big a thing? Can we accept that on this channel? I don't think so. We pull it out and we did what anyone else would do. Struggle a little bit to get it off of the spatula. Kind of got stuck. Some black bits kind of stayed on top. Kind of looks not like the right color. How could we mess this up? There's been so much food science. Everything seemed appropriate. We're still not giving up. It might be a little struggle.
What's up, guys? The P-Man's back. Hashtag how you peeing. This is not a versus. It's a rescue mission. So clearly, big is not always better. Maybe I'm not the best example, but hear me out. So I was thinking, how do I save this recipe in a way that y'all could actually make this at home? What is that? Okay. All right, I guess I gotta go to the store. Simple, chicken breasts. That's right. So I respectfully grabbed 3 breasts, trimmed off the tail end, because it was super thin, and butterflied them all the way down the side. Then I was able to open them up to then realize, wow, this already looks like a giant chicken tender. I think y'all see where I'm going with this. So with a little Poundy McPounsicles, I got some tender spreadage, and guess what? When you tenderize a breast, it becomes tender. Chicken tender. And since Julia's massive Flintstone failure wasn't fully cooked, I was able to learn from her mistakes and therefore create a custom sous vide to par cook my chicken.
I'm taking this. I'm taking it.
What are you doing?
I'm taking it.
It's fragile.
Take it.
Simple process. Pop chicken in a bag, vacuum seal with Amazon associate link, and place in 140-degree water for at least 45 minutes to kill the salmonella. While those are sous videing, I had time to kill, so might as well make the entire Raising Cane's menu giant. Didn't think of that. Y'all just made the sauce. What about the other stuff? No need to clean, wash, or peel. Do as the JPers do and build antibodies by unsafe food handling. Because our fries are going to be giant, we need to par cook these also or they'll be raw. So punch holes with a fork, microwave for 6 minutes, take them out, and just cut. And then I dunked them into an ice bath to let them rest in the meantime. For the Texas toast, I bought a big loaf, I cut it down and tried to smash it out and realized it didn't really get any bigger. So at that moment in time, it occurred to me, I can cut the slices in a way to resemble a giant Texas toast slice. This is genius. It's also arts and crafts time with JP. To make your giant Texas toast, cut 4 slices of bread and trim off the crust on respective adjacent sides. Sprinkle some shredded cheddar cheese on a silicone mat to be used as the glue to combine our 4 slices together. Now simply brush on some melted butter and season with garlic salt, garlic powder, and parsley flakes.
It came small, so you cut it into a big slice. Yeah. It's smart. I mean, not smart.
Then I baked for a few minutes and broiled to get that top nice and toasted. And there you have it, folks. Giant Texas toast with a delicious bouquet of cheese on the back end. Well played, myself, from the past. So to bread my chicken, I was thinking, why reinvent the wheel? Julia already did this. Your efforts don't go unnoticed, so let me have your breading. And she gave it to me because we're in a relationship. Thank you, Julia. So, buttermilk, flour, twice times because we got 3 tendies. And look at that breading. I think we're ready to deep fry. Before I fried the chicken, I gave my giant crinkle cuts their first deep fry. Came out golden, delicious. And then proceeded with my chicken. The oil was at the right temp, my technique was on fire, and after 4 minutes, these chicken tenders looked glorious. Because the fries were so thick, I went with one last fry just to crisp them up, salted generously, and then proceeded with a very awkward and cumbersome method of presentation. Texas toast, down. Some additional bread to fill out the plate. Then we stacked some french fries on top. Cane sauce? Don't mind if I do. Thanks, Julia. And then lastly, our chicken tenders went down. And my goodness, this looked so accurate that from a certain angle, it actually looked normal sized. Until you zoom out and see itty bitty Julia holding this giant plate of food.
So I left the room, I come back, and I'm kind of checking out what JP's been doing, and I'm like, wow, this is actually looking really good. Wow. But the truth is that I didn't give up yet. I wasn't 100% ready to say that my giant tender was donezo. I did the obvious thing. I took the breading off and re-breaded it and deep fried it again. It just has to look pretty on the outside. We can achieve that, right? Is too big a thing? I don't think so. We gave it a little tussle in there, and I'm like, it's not attached. It's not attached to the spatula. This is a good sign. A few minutes later, we very carefully pull this chicken out of the deep fryer. I bring it over to my giant bowl of Raising Cane sauce, and I go right in for a dip. And yeah, very saucy, almost too much sauce. Kind of got up in the hair bit, nose a little bit.
Am I the winner? Is JP the winner? Are we all winners? There's no poll on this video. You have to comment.
I couldn't see the ship go down. I had to jump in.
Good, JP. Could have had some seasoning on there, but other than that.
You don't have to vote for the P-Man. The P-Man votes for you. We not only showed you a giant chicken tender using science. We were also able to create an entire Raising Cane's meal, oversized and easy enough for you to do at home.
What do you guys want to see us do when we wear those crazy lab coats and goggles again? Like a noodle that you just continue to suck and suck and suck when you eat it, and then you never, ever, ever stop eating. Hey, that's a great way if you don't want to talk to your family during dinner. Hey, how was school today?